And what's up, y'all? And welcome back to another episode of that Dynamite review show on the Tricology News Talk. And oh boy, this has got to be the craziest, and I do mean craziest episode that we have done. But before we get into it, well, let's welcome, as always, our co-host, as always, with the most, Mr. Leland Benford. What's up, bro?
What is up, everybody? Man, Trico, so much has changed since the last time we spoke. I mean, this thing has really just blown up since after All Out. So, man, I'll let you go ahead. You got a whole thing, man. But dude, this company is being tested right now. Tony Khan is being tested right now. So much has changed, and we'll definitely get into it.
Yeah, and speaking of All Out, let's really go through the results that's happened. So first off, in the 0 hour in the pre-show, Sammy Guevara and Ty Mello defeated Ortiz and Ruby Soho to retain the AAA World Mixed Tag Team titles. Hook defeated Angelo Parker to retain the FTW title. Pat defeated Cape Sabian to retain the All Atlantic Championship. And then what I thought was the best one out of the pre-show was Eddie Kingston to defeat Tomohiro Arashi in the pre-show. And then going into the main show, the Joker wins the considered ladder match. We will reveal who was the Joker at the end. The Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks defeated Hangman Adam Page and the Dark Order of Alex Reyes and John Silver to become the inaugural AEW World Trios Champions. Jade Cargill defeated Athena to retain the AEW TBS title and go 37-0. Warlord and FTR defeated Jay Lethal and the Motor City Guns. Power Loss defeated Ricky Starks in a squash match. Swerve Our Glory, Keith Lee, and Swerve Strickland defeated the Acclaim to retain the AEW World Tag Team Championships. And why I thought were one of the best matches of the show, along with the trios match, tag team title match. Tony Storm defeated Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Carl Shia to become the interim AEW Women's World Champion. Christian Cage defeated Jungle Boy in another squash match. And then Chris Jericho defeated Bryan Danielson. Darby Allin and Miro defeated the House of Black. And then finally, CM Punk defeated Jon Moxley to become the AEW World Champion. And then the MJF to reveal himself as to be the Joker. But MJF was not the talk of the town. As we went to the media scrum, in case you didn't know, CM Punk lashed out. He even talked about the Elite, Colt Cabana. I mean, what else can we say? And then after the whole media storm, let me tell you something. The shit hit the fan, and Matt and Nick Jackson kicked down CM Punk's door, and before you know it, all hell break loose. And that involved Kenny Omega, Christopher Daniels, Brandon Cutler, Ace Steel. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I got the full report of what everything that happened. So the claim was they opened it, that Magnet Jackson opened the door, not to kick it as claim on the other side. But before Mick Jackson could say anything, Punk went off and started throwing sucker punches at Matt's head. Nick went to intervene. Ace Steel allegedly threw a chair and hit Nick in the face. Sean Ross Sapp even wrote the Kenny Omega involvement, said to be with him that he just tried to remove Larry, who was CM Punk's dog, out of the situation. Thank God that Larry did not get injured, because we don't want any pets to get hurt in this situation. So they tried to keep him safe, and they got Kenny Omega for that. That was a good thing, because he was started barking and starting going nuts. So but that's their side of the story. But he tried to get Ace Steel off of Nick Jackson, but then Ace Steel wanted to go all Mike Tyson on Kenny Omega and start biting him and start pulling his hair. So the messed up thing about it, and there was a security involved, and no one warned Tony Khan about the whole situation. I know he had a media scrum to do, and like the fight happened during when Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland was talking about their match, and also when Tony Storm got up and talked about her win. So it was just a crazy situation. Like, should it happen? Yeah, absolutely not. In the way of the matter it did. Like, yeah, my thing is, if you have a problem, don't do it in a public situation. Do it somewhere like outside the parking lot until you can resolve your issues. Like, it's just it's just crazy to think about. Like Tony Khan, he's supposed to be the boss, right? But it feels like the inmates has been running asylum, and we've been talking about this the whole discussion between essentially between the locker rooms and everything. So I feel like ever since Cody Rhodes left AEW, I feel like they'll be like, oh, said Cody Rhodes left, it's not gonna be a problem. But then when CM Punk first won the world title against Heyman Adam Page and then got injured, I think that's when AEW started to fall off the brick. What do you think?
All right, so let's back it up a little bit. So the reports about the door being kicked in, depending on what report you're reading, one report says there was no door being kicked down. Brian Alvarez and Dave Messer said there was no door being kicked down. Other reports, I guess, on Punk's side, saying the door was being kicked down. So obviously, there's 8 sides to this story. Okay, we keep hearing different reports, different things. One is a still wife was in the room, and that's why he was acting so violent. You know, all these other things that are happening. Tony Khan couldn't leave the press conference, and he really didn't know about it until Chris Jericho told him. You can see when Chris Jericho say some shit went down. So, and he was only in that press conference like 20 minutes after Jericho said that. So he couldn't just get up and leave the press conference. But we did have reporters in the room that security ran to the back to help break this up. Here's the thing. AEW is my favorite wrestling company. And if there is someone coming in that will be a cancer to that place because they think they know better or they think they know the right way to do things, then guess what? That person needs to go because AEW has been growing an audience. They have been building to something great for the last 3 to 4 years. I like CM Punk. Okay. I like watching him wrestle. I love watching his promos. I love how he connects to an audience. But me being in the film industry, I also worked with veterans in this film industry who has this like superiority thing, right? Where they know what works, they know how to get it done, and they know that. And my thing is, and I'm assuming wrestling is a little like the film industry, both entertainment, there is more than one way to skin a cat. You know, everyone has their way, and if their way is working for them, understand it necessarily doesn't have to be your way, even if it may be the right way. But if it could be the right way, but not the right time. And you got to let people grow and let people get into their own. Not everyone is going to be a salty veteran, in their third year of doing it. Not everyone is going to treat it the way you do it. So you got to appreciate individuality and understand. There was one big moment that happened when CM Punk was doing this thing. And let's get this right. CM Punk went into this press conference knowing that he was going to pipe bomb it, knowing that he was just going to sandbag the hell out of this thing, and that he had a plan. He had a plan to really take it to the reporters and get under their skin. He didn't even talk about Jon Moxley in his match. It was all a shoot. There was no work shoot angle here. He didn't put Moxley over. He didn't talk about the match. He didn't even put MJF over. He just said, oh, he wants me to wrestle these pricks, wrestle these kids. I think they know more. He did nothing to help the company in this moment. Absolutely nothing. He shitted over AEW. And I like the fact that Tony Khan is close to like our age, right? Tony Khan is not that much older than us. And he is a legit fan. He's a legit fan with money. He is running a wrestling business and he's doing the same stuff that a lot of us would do. Sure, things are different and everything like that. And we all can be on this side of it, saying what Tony Khan should do. But until you in the room, guys, you really don't have any effing idea what happens in those doors, behind the curtains, in an everyday type deal. You don't know the phone conversations and the text messages and all the things that keep Tony Khan up at night to try to have to deal with this company. Now, saying that, I'm seeing I would love to revisit Vince when he was Tony Khan's age running this company and how wrestlers treated him. Even Vince said wrestlers would bully him and wrestlers would try to get over. And that's what made Vince such a hard ass kind of promotion runner. But also Vince was dealing with competing against guys like David Crockett and Bill Watts, these real hard asses of the wrestling industry. So he was competing with different guys, and they had to be hard. So Vince had to be hard. We're in a different generation. Tony Khan didn't come from a Bill Watts school of, professional wrestling. He grew up watching this shit just like we did. So to see CM Punk take advantage of Tony Khan at that moment to shit over the company and to shit all over everything that AEW did and shit over Hangman, saying that Hangman never did nothing. Hangman main evented a bunch of AEW pay-per-views and they did really well. He kept the company going. He kept everything pushing. So, and Hangman is a big draw. Hangman is one of the top stars in AEW. So for him to shit over all the roster that way was just, to me, very unprofessional. And if you have a cancer in the building, even if that cancer will cost a lot of money to take out, it may be best in the long run to take out that cancer. I think CM Punk needs to have consequences. I think he needs to get fined. First off, I think he needs to get fined like $250,000 for what he did in this locker room, and to kind of set this fuse off and to create so much tension. Be a professional at the end of the day. And, it's easy for me to say that because I'm not in the business, but just hearing the reports, it seemed like he could have handled this 10,000 different ways. Each of them would have been drastically better. Now, as far as the Young Bucks go, Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, they did exactly what Punk said do. He said, if you got a problem with me, come talk to me. Let's fucking go. That's exactly what he did, right? So now, but the thing is, the elite isn't just wrestlers, they're EVPs. So an EVP would have to schedule a meeting. Let's schedule a meeting and talk about your comments during the media scrum and how we don't approve of them. That's what an EVP did. But they were wrestlers before they were EVPs. So the wrestler side of them took over and said, let's go talk to this dude right now, and that created a lot of things. Some people said that Punk already knew that he was injured and he knew he was going to be out off the shelf for like 8 months anyway. So that's why he went in and kind of did this pipe bomb media scrum. But still, no excuse. You did nothing to put the company over. You did nothing to put MJF over. You did nothing to put Mox over. But while the whole time saying that you're the guy that want to elevate people, but you did nothing to put these people over during this time because you took it upon yourself to talk about something that people really don't care about. You care about it more than anybody else. I don't care about the Colt Cabana drama. I know you guys got drama. I don't care that Hangman Page said something, off the script to you. Deal with it. You've done it before and you continue to do it. But don't also go in business for yourself for something that was like 3 months old that we all forgot about. And now we got to go dig up stuff. So this whole CM Punk thing, if Punk is not ready for this, because it seemed like the weight of that belt is too much for him because every time he gets it, his body can't handle it. So the weight of that AEW belt is too much for CM Punk because his body just can't take it. His body can't handle it. So maybe he's not the best champion for this company because there's other champions that's out there that's putting this company over. Kenny Omega carried this company on his back during the pandemic, and also a couple of other companies while doing it, and had to go through months of surgery just to recuperate from all that hard work. So other people have gotten this belt and was able to carry it. This is the second time CM Punk has got this belt. His body couldn't take it. I don't think this belt is right for him. I don't think this position is good for him. I don't know what position we should see Punk in the future of AEW, because I don't like the toxicity that he's bringing to all of this. Now, he did say one thing in his press conference that really kind of irked at me. He said he cut Tony Khan off, hella disrespectful. He cut Tony Khan off and he said, I'm trying to run a business. These guys don't know what they're doing. What business are you trying to run, Punk? What business are you? No, you don't have a title. You're a wrestler. Like, you're a star in this industry, but you're not trying, you shouldn't be stressed with trying to run a business. You shouldn't try to be in that position or say to be in that position, because why? Why are you trying to be in that position when no one asked you to? You know what I'm saying? Now, again, I don't know what's going on behind the stage, maybe they did. But why are you trying to run a business? I did not like that remark that he said, I'm trying to run a business. For what? No one asked you. You're not the leader of the ship. Because a lot of people just don't like it, you know? So listen, I'm happy that we got to see CM Punk pop, at Ash, Stadium, and that great moment. I'm happy that we got all these great CM Punk moments. But if it means the crumbling of the company that I care a lot about, take them out, and take out anybody else who will be a cancer to it, because there are homegrown stars in AEW. There are people, fans of these homegrown stars, that will support this company because we've been here since day one. I've watched Orange Cassidy become a star. I've watched the Acclaim become stars. I've watched Dark Order get over. I've watched Best Friends get over. I've watched Death Triangle, which we're going to talk about in a second here, get over. So do we need Punk? Nah. Who else is out there in the wrestling world that can fill his shoes? Probably nobody. Probably nobody. But if it means that we will lose the company we love because of his ego, I choose the company over his ego. I'm not that big of a CM Punk fan to put AEW under him, because where else is he going to go work? Impact? New Japan would eat his ass alive, and I doubt if he ever go back to WWE. Matter of fact, go to WWE. Be a toxic energy over there. I'm pretty sure you and Paul will get together, right? So like, where else would he go? He's gonna go back home. So for him to come in and just shit over this opportunity like that is astonishing to me, since he really has nowhere else to go. Like, if he goes on Impact, I guarantee you it's going to be a quick little bump, and then that's it. And no one's going to care. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a TV deal, bub. This is your only chance to be on TV. And say what you want, I guarantee you he loves the effing attention. I guarantee you he loves being in front of that crowd. He loves that feeling, because that's what brought him back. So why shit on your opportunity this way? Why shit on your comeback this way? Why go in and be so mad about some Colt Cabana news, dude? Shouldn't you be bigger than that? I don't know. That's just me. I don't have any fault with the Elite. I hate they have to lose their trio belts, but because of it, we had a really good Dynamite last night.
Yeah, and as a result of everything that happened during the fight, CM Punk is suspended, the Elite is suspended, Brandon Cutler is suspended, Micah Kazoga is suspended, and Christopher Daniels is suspended, and several other AEW officials was suspended as well. I have no reports on Ace Steel. I don't know if he got suspended or not, but if you ask me, if I was in Tony Khan's shoes, would I fire CM Punk? Not really, because he elevates a draw. CM Punk is a draw, and he makes money. Not to say the other wrestlers make any draws too, but I feel like a Punk is one of my biggest draws, and I will keep it as I can. But as a business person, as a professional, if you go off and do something stupid like you did before, if you gonna make these same mistakes over and over, like, I believe that people deserve second chances. But if you screw over that second chance and start doing it, and making more strikes, you're out of here. That's how I feel. That he's gonna be out of here. That would be me if I was Tony Khan. So as far as the elite, I would not fire them either. But what I would do, I would like strip them of their EEPs. That's what I would have done. I would strip them of their EEP because and also have um a more experienced and more veteran coaches on my side. Maybe John Moxley, Brian Danielson, Chris Jericho, Samoa Joe, Dustin Rose, Madison Rain to be the coaches, to be my coaches, to help help the locker room, and then while I do the business side, they're making AEW, getting the TV deals and like all that other stuff. Like
But
that's what I would have done.
but you do know, like the whole EVP thing, like their positions been changed. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't do a lot of the stuff they used to do, like they used to do back in the day. So their position's been changed, and I think if you take that EVP title and the paycheck that comes with that EVP title, and you make the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, just wrestlers, then it's no reason for them really to stay with AEW. You see what I'm saying? Like, is that's like this company would not have started without these three guys. Period. Tony Khan wasn't about to go into business with just Cody Rhodes. It was the elite and Kenny Omega and everyone that they bring to the table, which makes a all elite wrestling. Period. I mean, just the elite part of it is theirs. So taking that EVP title from them will be probably a nail in the coffin for AEW. They earned that title. They've been putting this company on their back way before CM Punk got there. BTE is a big part of all elite wrestling. And if the Young Bucks decided to just stop the elite thing and go with something else, the elite name would diminish. They have more power, than I think people give them, because honestly, the Young Bucks was the reason why I started watching wrestling again. It wasn't CM Punk. I started watching wrestling again after I stopped watching when CM Punk was still in WWE. Young Bucks was the ones who got me in there. When I seen Kenny Omega, I was sold. So those are the guys who got me back into wrestling. So if they take that title from them, they're just like every other wrestler then, bro. And they can go to any other company. So they need to be at that table. This company is built off their hard work, in my opinion. You feel me? Like they need to have that title, but they should have handled this much better. I mean, I don't know what happened. They said Nick came in, Matt came in, and then CM Punk started throwing sucker shots at him. So maybe they came in just to talk as EVPs, and look what happened.
Yeah, of course. Like you can't let nobody talk to you but like a certain way and not take any action. But again, as EEPs, the things should have been handled in a different way. I understand how things go, but but there's a certain place that you should not do business, and there's a certain place that you should not do. But it happens. But like I said, I believe in second chances. So if they go out in public, like apologize, like anything that's happened. So but I would say this: okay, Omega, the elite, they're never leaving. They're not gonna leave. That's why I'm thinking that they're not gonna leave because there are the backbone of the company with Tony Khan. But like I said, the Tony Khan it's all on him to try to be a boss and also get everything back to the way it was. And I feel like that last night's Dynamite was a soft reboot to everything that's happened since after Double or Nothing. So this will be a good time to start just to hit that reset button and start out everything and bring back that old AEW glory days that we once loved, and also have that that good competition with WWE. Now that the Triple H is in charge, now this will be a good time to be a wrestling fan again.
can I gripe about Triple H for like 2 seconds?
Yeah.
All right, listen. I've been waiting for Triple H to take over, right? I've been waiting since I was watching NXT in 2018. I've been waiting. Now that he has control, I'm a little pissed off. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm a little pissed off because first off, the way Vince was running that company before what happened, Triple H was the low man on the totem pole. He was punishing him. He was he was nowhere to be found. You know what I'm saying? They just now starting to bring him back in. Now that this corporate kind of takeover happened, there was no farewell, no thank you, Vince, no any of that. It was just one day Vince said he's retiring. The next day Stephanie takes over, and then hours after, Triple H is now the main guy in WWE. And now he's doing interviews and everything like it was a fucking handoff. Like it was, sorry to cuss. It was like a handoff of responsibilities, this proper handoff of power, this passing of the baton, this passing of the torch. It was none of that. You got this job kind of not to anything you've done, but because Vince couldn't keep it in his pants. So and now you're doing these interviews like like Vince chose you when Vince didn't choose you at all. You see what I'm saying? So because it was done in this kind of way, just this new era of Triple H, it don't sit right with me personally. And I'm glad that WWE is about to get a chance to actually get some good wrestling. You guys suffered a long time with pretty mediocre matches, and I'm happy that it's starting to happen. I think for me though, just the way it happened, I just don't like the swag that he's bringing to it, knowing that he got this really on some luck stuff. He didn't. This wasn't a proper normal way of doing business. This was on some luck stuff. So now he's going out like he's hot stuff. And bro, if Vince never got caught, you still would have been doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like you still would have just been chilling, bro. Like so the fact that he's kind of going on now, like boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? Like man, I don't know if Vince would have chose you even in his last, if he had to do it the right way. So, but I'm happy for everyone who's about to get ready to work with Triple H because I know the matches are going to be good. But something just doesn't sit right with me about everything over there, and I'm still kind of refusing to watch the product at this point.
Well, I would say, yeah. Well, I would say this, like, not everything's gonna be fixed in WWE in and of in one day. It's gonna take a while to fix all the mess that Vince did in the company, along with Bruce Pritchard and all them and everybody on his team that's been doing for the last 2 years ever since the whole pandemic started. So yeah, but listen, if Vince was still in charge, we will still be on AEW side, despite everything that has happened. Like if Vince was still in charge and we still have all this situation going with AEW, like we would still be with AEW because WWE, they're not putting out a good product as they always done with Vince McMahon. But now that Triple H is in charge, now we can still have that good wrestling that AEW has into WWE. More better storylines, more better that kind of like back in the old days in the Monday Night Wars. We finally got that that good feeling again. Will it take some time? Absolutely, it would take some time. And also, if you're gonna ask like which one was the better show between All Out and Clash of the Castle, I would say both of them was really good. Clash of the Castle, it felt like a takeover. Like it was mostly six matches, not to drag out anything, but everything was pretty good. And then same thing for All Out. Of course, all the matches was really great. Did some matches feel that didn't really need to be on the show? Yeah. And then was there some matches like that could have been longer? Yes, it could have been on. But despite everything, it was still a great show and all that. And that's why.
And also,
Yeah.
Well, how different would that have been if Clash of the Castle wasn't coming on the same weekend of All Out? You feel me? I think Tony Khan planned his, how All Out is always set up. He usually has the whole weekend to himself. So by the time we get to that Sunday, if we're not watching wrestling on Friday, on Saturday, and by the time we get to that Sunday, then it's like these long shows are great because I've been waiting all weekend for this. But now that they wanted to go on the same weekend as All Out, now you got 4 hours, 3 hours of wrestling here, 2 hours of wrestling for NXT, and then this long show of All Out. So if you're watching both products, you're exhausted by the time you get to All Out. You've been watching wrestling all weekend. You feel me? So I think it was a little dirty that they kind of planned that to be the same weekend. I know it was like another country and all that, but I think it was a little dirty to plan out on the same weekend. But let's see what Tony Khan does, because like he said at the press conference, he got way more money than Crockett. But I think it was a dirty kind of business tactic to do it. And it ain't the first time WWE did some stuff like this to try to book a big show at the same weekend as another company's big show. They've been known to do that, and it's pretty dirty, at the end of the day. But it's a business, it's competition. I think Triple H is going to have it out for AEW since he had to get punished because of AEW. So he's going to have it out, and now he has the full force of Raw and SmackDown and all these big shows to do with what he wants. I know that show was planned way in advance, but the fact that they're doing that and putting it out, it just shows to me that they are trying to do whatever they can to stump out the flame. And also, I'm hella convinced that WWE is paying some of these news organizations to put out false rumors and false reports, like Ringside News for sure. I'm 100% sure that they're getting paid by WWE because they put out the most ridiculous news. Like, it's almost like how you watch like politics and everything. But yeah, man, I think it was a little dirty. So like, how much wrestling can you watch in a weekend before you like, okay, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like we all get that burnt out kind of mode, you know what I mean? So I think it was a little dirty to put that on that whole weekend of wrestling on before All Out.
Yeah, but if it was me and if Triple H had it scheduled these days, I think he would have put a Clash of the Castle in a different week for All Out. But All Out's really competition on that night was really NXT World Collide. And let's be honest, who watched NXT 2.0 really? It's really garbage. Like,
but it's not even that though. Like I said, thinking about like how All Out would have been a little bit differently if you get to have more wrestling to watch on Saturday. You feel me? Like I said, like it's like building up to that event, building up to that moment. But if you already have a show going on, you're already watching this new wrestling show over here. It kind of burns you out by the time you get to Sunday. I don't watch Clash of the Castle. I don't watch everything, so I was like good, ready to go. But for fans who watch both, I'm like, well, shit. By the time they get to All Out, bro, they're gonna be like, I've been watching wrestling for like 6 hours now already. I gotta watch wrestling for 6 more hours. Like, yeah, that's just my opinion, bro.
Yeah. But like I said, the Triple H is doing his best to trying to fix all the mess that Vince McMahon did because ever since the beginning of the year, they put out all the announcements for all the pay-per-views that they happened. Because to be perfectly honest, putting it Cash to the Castle as it was on a Saturday, that was all Vince's idea. But now it was just on Triple H's hand to make it as a good pay-per-view show as he can. And that was a really good show. And was a definitely surprise. And it really got me hyped up for the next pay-per-view which is Extreme Rules. And also, as far as All Out, it was a really great too. And definitely with Dynamite, we got a soft reboot. And then this definitely going to get us excited all the way to Grand Slam. And then also to Full Gear. So that's why it's a perfect time to be a great wrestling fan right now. WWE is in good hands right now, as they should have been long time ago. AEW is in a soft reboot right now, going back to the way it was, and that's why we had a great Dynamite last night. And speaking of with that, we saw a video, a pre-recorded video with Tony Khan. So A lot of the fans boo, but for good reason. But now Tony Khan is now acting like the boss right now. He did a good thing of the suspending CM Punk and the Elite, and not only that, vacate their respective titles. So Death Triangle and Best Friends will face off to determine the new trios champions, and then also a tournament will culminate at Grand Slam with the new world champion being crowned in the finals. So and that's how you have it to start off the Dynamite. So and then after that, a huge announcement. MJF caught a babyface promo, but John Moxley came out and say like, boy, we're not falling for this crap. You're full of shit. You're full of crap. And then before you know it, MJF showed his true colors again. It went straight back to be a heel. And then he even talked about Cody Rhodes, Triple H. Yeah, say, oh, he was going to take the title and then go to another or another wrestling promotion. And then John Moxley was like, we ain't got time for this. So like, you either get out of this ring or I'm gonna make you get out of this ring. So MJF was trying to so he had a hard time trying to take off his shirt and everything, but yeah, he left. And so and then after that, Moxley delivered a great and legendary promo. Yeah, that's just to show you that that John Moxley is the heart and soul of AEW.
Yeah, he really is, man. Like he's like the freaking Sting of AEW. Like how Sting was WCW. Like I feel like John Moxley is gonna ride this train out. I think he is loyal as crap to it, and I'll be surprised to see him like go any other big. I mean, that's how I know things are going to get really bad if I see John Moxley jump ship. But yeah, this was first off the great babyface promo from MJF, being hella babyface, insulting people, and then going babyface immediately. So heel babyface all throughout, and then when Moxley comes out, go full heel. Like that was just great. Again, I miss MJF, so I'm happy to see him back on the TV. I'm glad they worked everything out. I think he is one of the AEW stars, and he is building up to. I mean, how smart is he? He's building up to this great bidding war of 2024. Who's going to get him, AEW or WWE? We know Tony Khan has money, but WWE ain't no slouch either. And how much of it would just be too much, you know what I mean? So he is building up to this great 2024 great line. He said, the only con that means anything in wrestling, old Saint Nick, referring to Nick Khan over at WWE, which is going to get boozed like crazy. Yeah, this is just great. And then the promo for Moxley, again, you're right, the heart and soul of AEW is John Moxley. And I feel like when he said, it's time to be a legend. I feel like this is the legend era of AEW now. This is a new era starting, like you said, a soft reboot. And they're going to try to be on their top game and top behavior now going forward. And I think I feel like definitely the last night's episode and just with that promo really spoke to the guys in the back. And I feel like maybe with CM Punk gone, that was a big part of it. Maybe that was a whole thing. Maybe he was creating that tension because, it's been a lot more chaos in the back. And last night it felt a little bit like peace. So maybe everything needed to happen in order for AEW to grow and for Tony Khan to learn an important lesson. And that's the cool thing about watching this company grow. Like you get to see, it's like watching a legit wrestling storyline or watching the whole storyline of AEW. And last night was a new chapter.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I'm gonna read the statement that Martin said. He talked about the title representing passion and love for pro wrestling, and that is representing taking the dark side of the business and letting it die. He said it represents slaying demons and everything he loved about this business. He said that he had another shot at the game winning goal. Then he will put over every single person in the tournament. But he is the ace. He wants the ball, and now it's time for him to be a legend. And that was a real the great promo. Now, like I said before, um, this summer has been the summer of Mott's ever since he became interim champion at Forbidden Door. He held down the company as the way it should been. I know a lot of things that happened. Like we were supposed to get Punk and MJF, but ever since Punk went down to injury, MJF part the pipe bomb. Everything has changed, but yeah, we had to revise everything that we got. But we got the Summer of Mars. It was great. It led up to the Blackpool Combat Club being one of the dominant factions that we have right now. So, but like I said before, now we're in the soft reboot, and now we are in now we're in the good stages of booking great matches all the way up to into Grand Slam.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, this is first off, before we go any further, the boos for Tony Khan and then the cheers at the end. Oh, they've been doing it a lot lately. The AEW crowd has been doing that a lot. They boo John Moxley if he's in a ring with somebody else, but then the moment that person leaves, they cheer for John Moxley. Isn't that crazy? Like, like, like we don't know who are heels and who are like. We're real clear on who we like and when we like them. Not that we don't like them, it's just when we like them. John Moxley got booze when he's in the ring with MJF. And then as soon as MJF leaves, they cheering for him in unison. It's crazy stuff.
Well, yeah, like I said before, Tony Khan got booed for good reasons of everything that happened. But Moxley just got booed because because they wanted to cheer for MJF because after that promo pipe bomb promo that he did. But it's but in actuality, it's hard to hate John Moxley. Like you could boo like but that's the fans' opinion of who they like and who they want to boo. But you can never hate John Moxley, no matter if he's cheer or boo or not. Just like John Cena, like you could cheer him, you could boo him, but you can never hate the guy.
You're right. Gotta respect him because he was one of the hardest damn workers in that company for many years.
Yeah, exactly. But first opening of the match, like I said, this was Death Triangle versus the Best Friends to determine the new vacant AEW World Trios Championship. This led to Death Triangle winning the trios titles with the Pac hitting Chuck Taylor with the Black Arrow for the win. This was definitely fantastic. We even pitched our Death Triangle to be the trios champions. So and now Pac is Pac 2 belts, and some yeah, some people said 2-pack. I mean, come on now.
Love it. Yo, congratulations to Death Triangle, one of the OG groups of AEW. Man, I do feel a little bad for Best Friends. I really, either one of those groups could have won, and I'd have been happy either way. Like, no problem at all. But congratulations to Death Triangle, man. It was a hell of a match. Great, great chemistry between these groups. They've been working with each other for a while. So yeah, just awesome match. By the way, real quick, Trico. So I have my homegirls come visit every Wednesday now. They come and watch Dynamite. So some of my friends have become AEW fans, and they was watching the matches last night with us. So they come, and that's like one of the matches that I think you can put on for people who are not fans, and they'll still enjoy it.
Yeah, And I don't think this is over by a long shot because if you saw during the 0 hour pre-show and one of the backstage segments in at All Out, so originally Orange Cassidy wanted to challenge Pat for the All Electric Championship. So I feel like that match could happen in a down the road, but we'll see. I don't think this is over by a long shot. This is no.
Oh yeah, not at all. I mean, these groups been going at it forever.
Yeah. And then we got the new well, not really new, but the interim AEW Women's World Champion Tony Storm defeating Penelope Ford. This wasn't anything groundbreaking at all, but it was a pretty good acceptable match. But Tony Storm wins by DDT.
Yeah, I like this match, man. Tony Storm is entertaining. I think you know what? I've been watching Penelope Ford since she first got into AEW, and I think this was probably like the most natural she looked, and I think her and Tony Storm actually got some pretty good chemistry. Um, this match kind of like surprised me a little bit. It kind of held my attention way more than I thought it would. No disrespect to the ladies' matches, but I was invested in this match. I knew Tony was going to go over. I think Tony needs like a setup for her finish. I didn't even know like she does like mini DDTs in the match, so I never know which one will be like is her like legit finish.
Yeah, but I think we all just waiting for Thunder Rosa to come back, and then we can finally have that undisputed title match between Rosa and Storm. But we don't know when that's gonna happen. But it's a good thing that Tony Storm won last Sunday. I felt like she was the right choice to be the interim champion until Rosa comes back, because like I said before, Britt Baker didn't need it a win. JB Hater could have win last because of all the cheers that she had got last night. So that definitely brings my thoughts into her challenging Jade Cargill for the TBS title. But we'll see what happens down the road. Carter Sheeta, I love her, but she already has her duties defending the I forgot what title she's holding, but yeah, like I said, Tony Storm was the right person to win the interim title last Sunday.
Yep. Like I said, I'm cool with her being champ. I think the crowd is taking to her. I don't feel any like resistance. You know, I think they're cool. Also, the report that came out saying that Thunder Rosa was asking for a release turned out to be false. So there's a lot of crazy rumors going on right now. But yeah, it turns out that was false. But like I said, this match surprised me, and I think they have really good chemistry in the ring.
Yeah, and speaking of release, before we go any further, Malachi Black, he didn't really get released. He just taking time off because everything that has happened. He has mental health issues. That's going on. So he's definitely taking some time off. Like some people say he asks for release, but he didn't really get released. So he just really taking some time off for all the mental health issue and everything that's going on. Some people say he got released because of all the bad booking that's been happening in the House of Black and everything. But no worries. I think Malachi Black he's gonna return soon, but that's if Triple H doesn't get Aleister Black in the WWE, but we'll see.
Well, I think one of the conditions was that he can't go work for WWE. He has a 5-year contract.
Yeah, he's still on contract.
Yeah, he's on a 5-year contract. That is not an easy contract to get out of. You know what I mean? Like that is not an easy contract to get out of. 5 years. That company plans to have you around for 5 years. They're gonna fight to keep you there. You know, like so I can see him taking just a break, coming back in a big way. and getting that pop, that big pop, and then go in a different direction. But Tony Khan should like put him in a top position. Like he is a top dog. You know what I mean? His I wish he can be that Undertaker type just in a new kind of way because I mean he's a legit Muay Thai boxer, So the fact is like Tony Khan should have him at a high position. He should be winning more often and doing a lot more stuff. So hopefully this time off will give him that big pop when he comes back, and they start putting him in a better position. But I doubt they let him out of his contract. So much time left on it.
Yeah, I don't think he's leading anytime soon. But right now, he's just taking a break. Everything that's going on in his life right now. So he'll be back soon. But yeah. But I think that's all the other news that has happened during this week. But going back to on the show at hand, 2.0 cut a promo on Hook and Action Bronson about everything that happened last Sunday and All Out. And they announced Hook and Bronson will be facing off against 2.0 at Grand Slam. So if you ask me, I think this probably will take place on a Rampage instead of a Dynamite. So I think that's when that match could happen.
Probably on a Rampage. I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Yeah. And then so after that promo, the Acclaim made their way out for a promo, but then Swerve's Midget interrupted, and then before the Mad Catzer could even rap, and then that is one thing. The fans totally boo Swerving because every time you see the Acclaim, the fans always want to hear that Mad Catzer rap. You want to see what they are going to say. It's like going back to the good old days where John Cena was Thugonomics, and you want to hear his rap. R-Truth, you want to hear his rap. Road Dogg, and I could go on and on. Yeah. So
it seems like they're putting Swerve in a more heel position here, and I noticed that Keith Lee didn't come out with him. So they put him more. They're going to be setting him up for more of a heel position. This didn't look good for Swerve. Like they cut him off. He couldn't finish his part. Billy Gunn came and got the whole crowd against him. It wasn't a good little move for Swerve. He didn't handle his own on the mic. But I like Swerve definitely, and I think they're setting him up to be more of a heel. I think maybe they drop the belts and then Swerve and Keith Lee, Swerve turns on Keith Lee, and they kind of go from there, but definitely not a good look for Swerve last night.
Yeah. And before I go in further into the promo, let me just say the match that they had last Sunday, oh my goodness. Like that was one of the great tag team matches, not only for the Acclaim, but also Swerve and Keith Lee as well. Did Tony Khan miss the opportunity to pull the trigger for the Acclaim to win the titles? I would say yes, but I don't think it was at the right moment right now, because I think he wanted Swerve and Keith Lee to have to keep their reign going, but with their match coming up at Grand Slam, I think that will be a perfect opportunity for the Acclaim to win the titles.
Yeah, the question that Tony Khan missed opportunity to put the belts on the Acclaim. First off, sometimes some teams are better while we watch them chase the belt than when they actually get the belt. All right. So is it a smart move to want people to want to watch Dynamite and see if they win the belts? Was that a smart move to prolong it out? Yeah, that's a smart move to prolong it out. So like we got at the press conference said, I think you should have done a mulligan just to make these fans happy. There's so much other stuff happening. Like they're about to have their hometown guys, CM Punk, win at the end of the night. I got to make them happy on all accounts. Can I push this off? So that's kind of an odd thing to ask. Why didn't you let the guys get over when they're over with the crowd? Because they're going to be over in New York as well in 2-3 weeks. And that's going to be a big draw. So good thing the match was good because now people really want to see that rematch. So to me, that's smart. But I digress.
Yeah. So going back to the promo, mentioning Keith Lee, like he wasn't a form when Swerve was came out there and do this promo. Like so, okay, Lee was pissed off about that. So that definitely creates a dynamic going into their match at Grand Slam. But so yeah, Swerve intervened. He called a heel promo saying it was a joke that the Acclaim want to be the tag team champions. But as we you know it, Daddy Gunn cut him off and said that it was their house, and then the Acclaim was finally going to be take home the gold in New York City. So you know, ever since Billy Gunn joining Acclaim, they've been the one of the best things about AEW, and especially Anthony Boy says, "Scissor me, daddy." Like that is one of the best things in AEW.
Yeah, that's a guarantee over promo. I'm so happy for Bowens that he got this great catchphrase. But then also like it's something that Bowens can do, that only Bowens can do, and Caster does the raps. It's something only Caster can do. So now they both have their thing. Yeah, this team, I'm so happy they're finally like over with the crowd, and they're one of those original like homegrown AEW teams that I'm looking forward to when they get the belt and see what they do with the titles.
Yep, absolutely. I can't wait for Grand Slam. I think this is might be the Acclaim's time to win the titles, but we'll see from there. Jericho and the JAS was backstage with Tony Schiavone. Jericho claimed that he found the fountain of youth and he was drinking it in, man, because he beat Brian Danielson all out, saying that he is the best wrestler of all time and that he's the greatest sports entertainer of all time. And he said that AEW is his company, his locker room, and no one will ever take that away from him. And then also Jericho said he believed in Garcia, that he's gonna win the pure championship tonight. But he goes on his word after last night because Daniel Garcia did not come out in Jericho's victory celebration over Danielson, and he said the JAS would not be in his quarter tonight. So now for Jericho, I say this along with John Moxley and all the veterans, yeah, he should be definitely one of the coaches to help out Tony Khan, but with the locker room, to be there, have that veteran presence, to one of the coaches to help out the locker room, to be as a family as it should be. Like I mentioned, Moxley, Brian, Jericho, Dustin Rhodes, and Samoa Joe, and Madison Rain, and all those veterans to help to help the younger talent to be where they are, but like Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, MJF, and Jungle Boy, and everything else. So should Jericho be the one win the title? I don't think so. So if you would have asked me who should win the tournament, I say either Moxley or Brian Danielson, because this will create an opportunity for MJF to win the title between those two. But we'll see what happens there. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, whoever it is, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to draw out the NJF championship match to like, a pay-per-view, of course. So Daniel Bryanson or Mox against MJF, that's interesting. I don't know. I'm excited either way it goes. I'm happy that MJF is back, especially when we got all like 4 big stars that's suspended or may get fired out right now. It's good that Tony Khan has MJF, and also MJF did a really good job last night of getting the crowd, to say like, guys, I know we're in dark times right now, but and addressing kind of the elephant in the room. I think he did a really good job to like just do his job and like, as the best he can, get the AEW crowd, excited about AEW wrestling. So Tony Khan must have paid a lot of money because this whole tune changed that night. So we'll see what happens.
Yep. So we got a TNT championship match with Warlow defeating Tony Nese. This really didn't last long. This was another squash, hitting Tony Nese with the Powerbomb Symphony 3 times. And this was definitely a great reaction from the audience. And then Josh Woods ran down to try to save Mark Sterling from eating a powerbomb. But Warlow cut a promo saying he was on a mission to make AEW's Warlord's World. So as I mentioned, AEW was put on a soft reboot, but I think this was definitely another soft reboot for Warlow because he's getting into like feuds that was not really necessary. Like say the with Jay Lethal and Sojay John and Satnam Singh and like we didn't we would expect the feud to be Warlow and Jay Lethal, but it turned out to be a group war, and then you had to bring FTR in. So a lot of people say like after his feud with MJF, like that a lot of people was happy that yeah, he got the TNT championship, but the feuds that he's been having lately, it was not really the way it should be. But hopefully more Moxley hopefully Warlow gets into another like better feuds with other people like maybe W Morrissey, maybe Powerhouse Hobbs. So hopefully we get into more better feuds and better competition.
Yeah, it has to be a big guy because he's running through the most skilled little guys. So it needs to be somebody that got some size to them as well. I like Morrissey to put him in something so early. And he's got some a lot of experience on his belt now. Also, yeah, Hobbs is a good one as well. Big hoss fight, two big guys fighting, going at it. That'll be interesting. But they definitely do need to have somebody step up to Wardlow to kind of give him a really good storyline. I'm trying to think who would I put there. But yeah, man, I think that's two good choices. At least that'd be a good start in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we got Bryan Danielson versus Hangman Page 3, and this was the first round in the AEW championship tournament, and Bryan Danielson got the win. So I felt like this was kind of a spoiler. Who was going to win the match based off the Chris Jericho promo. So this was definitely set up the rematch between Jericho and Danielson for All Out. Not to say Hangman Page was in contention to have a win, but a lot of people say why did Heyman didn't get suspended because like he was not part of the fight. So even though he was mentioned in the Punk interview at the scrum, but like he was not part of the fight at all. He didn't do anything wrong. So
yeah, they said he had left way before.
Yeah. So why did Heyman need to be suspended? He didn't do anything. So, but other than that, this was really fantastic, and I think this was a longer match that they had previously, and this was definitely a great match between the two. Where does Heyman Page go from here? I don't know because all the members of Dark Order is injured after what happened last Sunday. So we'll see how it goes from there.
Yeah. This was a great match though. Hangman Page definitely. I mean, this was a banger of a match. I mean, I think it displayed the best of both wrestlers. They both was able to kind of display their skill. But yeah, really good match here. I definitely saw the writing on the wall though. I was like definitely Danielson versus Jericho again, so I definitely saw the writing on the wall there. But still an awesome match.
Yeah. And then Jungle Boy did a promo where he said he was far from done for Christian Cage, and once he was back from surgery, he's gonna take years of Christian's life. And he also said his next target is Luchasaurus, who was an anchor around his feet for the last 3 years. So this was pretty good here. So like I said before, Jungle Boy is gonna get a match with Luchasaurus first, and then after that, then he's gonna get that longer rated real match with Christian Cage.
Yeah, I was disappointed at All Out. This wasn't a real match, but I was like, dang, they're gonna drag this out even more now. So I was happy. I'm happy to see it keep going, but definitely I was a little shocked. Little shocked at the end of it there that they didn't have a full match.
Yeah. So after that, Stokely Hathaway came out, claimed that he was the king of ladder matches. So that was pretty good there. So but listen, if you ask me, I'll take Stokely Hathaway over James Ellsworth, for that freaking ladder match.
Yeah, that was a shock as well. I was like, who the hell is this going up there? But it made sense by the end of it. But I feel like the guys that went out there to bust their butt and like do these crazy spots kind of got played when MJF didn't have to do anything tonight, but just walk in and out, you know. But hey, you know, he's a star. So not saying the other guys aren't, but I guess that was a star treatment that night. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, Stokely Hathaway has a little nice little stable. I wonder what their name is going to be and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, we didn't really get a indication what's the deal behind this group, and also what was the deal between him and MJF. We didn't really get that anything. Hopefully we get some information in the next couple of weeks, but before Stokely could say anything, one of the stage handlers came up and said, "You need to wrap up." I was like, you don't cut me up, son. You show me respect like you would show your parents some respect. So he assaulted the stage handler, and he tried to tell him that he doesn't have much time in the promo. So that ended up with that stage handler eating a big boo from W. Morrissey.
Yeah, it was a hell of a boo.
Yeah. So after that, a video promo aired. Actually, two promos have aired. One focusing on Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin, and then the other one focusing on Claudio and Dax Harwood for Rampage this Friday. So Claudio will defend the ROH World Championship against Dax Harwood, which I think will definitely be a great match. And then the another first round match in the AEW World title match with Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara, and then Dynamite next week we'll see Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho in the semifinals, and then John Moxley will face the winner of Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara, and then confirmed for AEW Dynamite Grand Slam on September 21st. The rematch from All Out, Swerve Our Glory versus the Acclaim.
Nice. It's only a good show.
Yeah. And then the main event with Daniel Garcia the versus the Wheeler Yuta. And then before the match happened, we got a rap from West Side Gun playing Daniel Garcia's music to the ring. That a pretty good rap there. And then the judges was there just in case if it went to a draw. But it did not go to a draw. It was a pretty good match. And then with Daniel Garcia defeating Wheeler Yuta to become the champion. He got to win in a submission. So Bryan Danielson came out to the ring after Yuta and Garcia shook hands. So he put Bryan Danielson put the title on Garcia's waist, and Jericho came out. He was not happy. I was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" he looked on in anger. So after Garcia and Danielson shook hands, so yeah, this whole argument between Brian Danielson, Chris Jericho, and Daniel Garcia is far from over. We don't know where Daniel Garcia's true loyalty lies. So well, we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, this was a really good match. I mean, this match right here was hard hitting. I love the pure rules aspect of it. And also it's showing that these young guys can go out there and main event a Dynamite. I've seen somebody say, well, why wasn't, Danielson and Hangman the main event? Because it wasn't a title match. This was a title match. And it may be a title for another company that Tony runs. But it is a title match and it is different. It has rules. So it was definitely a different feel to this match. And boy, did these guys like just go at it. I mean, really, Yuta is a star. Garcia is a star. The entrance was nice. Buffalo, owned. I actually followed my man's on Twitter that was wrapping up. So I mean, this was a nice little feel. Gave me gave me a different vibe. Gave me some good stuff for a second. Got me in a different place than usual. And I think this match kind of lived up to it. And the crowd definitely had its favorite. I mean, Garcia was a hometown guy. Tony Khan likes to, have the hometown guys go over in their hometowns. So, like, and that's kind of smart if you think about it when you're traveling to all these places. Because when they go to New Jersey, MJF is God there. They don't boo him at all. He's God. And now Garcia is God in Buffalo. So when Garcia, it's going to be an automatic, pop. So like they're taking these guys to these hometowns and they're having these guys really connect with the hometown. And that's really smart. I think the Tony Khan does that well. And that's why he's pushing the Acclaimed off into their hometown. So they get that hometown pop. So he loves the hometown pops. So Garcia definitely got one. They were screaming, "Let's go Buffalo!" But yeah, hell of a match, hell of a main event. Garcia is the pure champion. Brian Danielson. I hate messed that up. Brian, I'm just gonna call him Brian. Brian went ahead and put that strap over him. I don't think that means that he's a part of the Blackpool Combat Club. I think that was just a show of respect and the respect that Danielson couldn't show him their last match because of Jericho's actions. And this is a great setup. Also, before we wrap, Jericho did his promo and he said something really good about this is my locker room and I'm not going to let anyone take it away from me. I think that's a really good message for the AEW crowd to hear, that people do really care about this AEW locker room and the AEW spirit and what it brings to the table. And if you think about like 3 years ago when AEW was such a fresh breath of air, a breath of fresh air, and the creativity that was coming out of it, sure, not everything was a hit, not everything was great, but just the matches, the pure wrestling that AEW brings to the table is making the wrestling world elevate itself. So, and not saying that Triple H wasn't doing that at NXT in like 2018. Definitely, it started at NXT, and then kind of we started getting frustrated when guys just wasn't able to be themselves on, Mondays and Fridays. So then AEW came out, and these guys were able to be themselves. But you see how much AEW has brought to the wrestling community in the last 3 years, and it's totally changed the culture of professional wrestling. And it's okay to say professional wrestling now, and that's due to a lot, due to the big part of AEW and everything they've been doing. So I think this is a great reboot moment. I think they did take a big stain in wrestling history. This is something that those shows are going to be talking about in the next 20 years. This controversy that happened after All Out. And then every All Out that happens after, it's going to be this controversy that comes up. And it's a shame that CM Punk decided to shit on that company like he did for whatever reason he felt the right reason to do. And you know what? I'm on the side of the Bucks for this one. I feel like they was going in there to defend what they built. And who the hell is he to come in and try to destroy it? So if he leaves, that's fine. If he doesn't, I don't know. He's going to be very polarizing. Um, he's going to have great heel heat because now I feel like he can start a stable that's anti AEW. And it says, well, I have to work here, but I'm anti this establishment. And I think that might be a good way to work this shoot. That's it for me.
Yeah, because I think after the everything that's calmed down, and when Punk comes back, I think he's gonna come back as a heel. But we'll see how that happens. But other than that, this was a great Dynamite last night. This was a definitely a software reset from everything that's happened at All Out, and now we are back on the right track as it should be. So definitely it has definitely a great setup for Rampage tomorrow night, and then next week's Dynamite. We definitely are looking forward to that, and also going into Grand Slam in a couple of weeks. So yeah, man, it's been crazy in the world of wrestling right now. So and we'll definitely keep you guys informed anything that's happened. And of course, if you guys listen to Respect the Combat podcast, we will definitely be talking about this even more on this discussion and what's going on, and also what's going on in the world of WWE right now, and everything else. But other than that, it's been a crazy week. But no, but we appreciate you guys for watching and listening to us every week. So I know we missed last week, but this what happens when we miss a week and all the craziness happens.
Oh my God!
But luckily we here to cover it up every day.
God, we can't miss a week anymore. Things are happening so freaking fast, man. Things are just like, look, it's 1 week and the whole damn company done changed. So, but yeah, man, thank you guys for listening to this podcast. We love talking about wrestling. Trico, one match I want to see on Clash Champions or Clash the Castle. One match I do want to go see is the Walter and Sheamus or Gunther and Sheamus fight. Think I need to go check that one out. I've been hearing a lot of good things about it.
Oh, absolutely. I think that was definitely the match of the night for me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to start tapping into WWE every once in a while. Change happened slow for me, and I wasn't ready to add WWE to my watching list. I heard Pat McAfee is out.
Temporary right now because he's now hosting the college game day right now, and but he didn't actually leave. He's just on a temporary leave right now.
Ah, gotcha. The report here says he's leaving WWE, but I didn't read into it more than that. So yeah, I'm gonna probably check out that Sheamus fight. I always liked Sheamus, so I'll probably go check that out. I wonder what's gonna happen with Ring of Honor. Like, when are we gonna get that started? I'm pretty sure Tony Khan's hands are very full right now. But yeah, I wonder when Ring of Honor is gonna start going. If they're gonna have like a TV deal coming up soon here.
Yeah, I hope they get a TV deal soon, so that way we don't have to have too much of Ring of Honor stuff into Dynamite or Rampage. So that way, Ring of Honor have their chance to shine on their own television show. But we'll wait to see how that gonna turn out. But again, we appreciate you guys. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And if you're listening on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts, don't forget the follow me there as well. But other than that, anything else you want to tap in before we wrap up?
No, man, not right now, man. I'm just still processing everything that's going on. Empathy is coming along very nicely, guys. So I hope you guys will support that film when it comes out. Let's get the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega back on TV. Did they do anything wrong for real? Let's get them back.
Yeah. And also always don't forget to follow us on the MTD page, so that way you guys can get an update of what's going on in our post-production stage, and we'll keep you guys informed or when it's gonna be when it's gonna be the release date and everything else. But other than that, he is Leland and I'm Trico, and we're signing off.
Peace.